Hey guys, what's going on? Frank Rich here from Rebuilt Recovery, and in today's video, I'm going to give you the 5 must-read books that you need to read if you are addicted to porn. But before we jump into today's content here, let me remind you of who we are and what we do, just in case you're new to the channel here. My name is Frank Rich, founder and CEO and founder of Rebuilt Recovery, and it is our goal to help men break free from the shackles of porn addiction through the power of faith and fitness. And we do that by providing you guys with daily videos here on YouTube. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also turn those post notifications on so you are notified every time a new video is released. And if you're in the early stages of identifying your recovery and trying to think about what can life be like if we're able to remove pornography out of the depths of addiction, we do have a free resource and guide. So down there in the first comment, I'm gonna link up our ebook. It's 7 steps to living life without porn. But hit that link, download the ebook. But like I said, guys, most importantly, subscribe to the channel so we are releasing new videos every single week. But let's get back to these books, guys, because as you can see from behind me, and if you have seen some other videos, I like to pull references. I like to share with you guys information that I'm reading, things that I'm learning from all these great mentors that I've had in my life. I truly believe that knowledge and books are one of the greatest tools we have for becoming the ultimate greatest version of ourselves, for stepping into the life that we were designed to live. Think about it, guys. If you were to pick up a book of somebody that's lived an entire life's experience in a particular topic or subject matter. You know, they're spending a decade, multiple decades. Some of these books are 30 years in the making. You're able to download and digest that information in just a short amount of hours. So whether it's picking up the books or downloading the books on Audible, I'm going to link all these books that we share with you guys in the comments, in the description as well, because like I said, guys, books have transformed my life. And I think that if you give these 5 books a read, and I'm going to share them with you, and I'm going to give you a brief kind of synopsis of it, but I want you guys to go out and grab these, and I want you to digest it and let the information marinate inside of you. But I think that these can be a great place to start. Now, not all the books are going to be specifically related to porn. A few of them are going to address the topic of pornography and addiction, but some of them are going to be more about building discipline and how to structure and develop habits and routines within your life. But let's jump into the books, guys. The first one I think that every single guy that's struggling with pornography needs to read is Surfing for God. And as I share these, they're not in any particular order, but this was the first book that I read that really shined light and changed my life. Back in January of 2019, when I was first starting this journey, I had heard a podcast by the author, Michael John Cusick, where he shared some intimate details about his story, which he goes into further detail on. But if you're a man of God, if you're a man of faith, or you have, Christian principles and morals in your life, maybe you've stepped away from that, this book is going to remind you why your faith is the most important thing. And it's also going to tie in how we are wired and how we can really become susceptible to some of these issues with pornography. There's going to be a lot of scripture quotes. So if you're not a man of faith, this one may be a little bit too much to jump in at first, but I do think that every man should read this book because it's going to resonate with you and it's going to remind you or bring to light why you become addicted, and also bring to light some of the things that you need to be concerned with if you're not yet taking action in removing pornography from your life. How can it lead to more intense, more hardcore pornography? How can it lead you to then start acting out with massages or prostitutions or escorts? Incredible story, guys. Incredible wisdom here. Like I said, he cites a lot of scripture in the book, but definitely worth a read, guys. The next one is going to get more into the neuroscience of the brain, and it's Wired for Intimacy by William M. Struthers. He is a clinical psychologist and also neuroscientist, and he explains to you how we're wired, from creation. Like, we are designed and wired for intimacy. But what happens when you start to introduce pornography? You literally develop new pathways, new connections in the brain that default you now to not the regular connection that we were created for, but this false pleasure of pornography. He also brings to light the differences between men and women and why men are seeing a higher rise in problems with addiction to pornography. Incredible book, guys, if you want to understand from a basic level some of the neuroscience behind the brain and the wiring and how porn is negatively impacting, the chemistry within your brain. The next book, guys, is Irresistible by Adam Alter. And this is not a book specifically on porn addiction, but the technology addiction. You know, obviously we all live in the world now with cell phones and Instagram and social media and devices literally around the clock. But if we can become aware of how these technologies are making us more addictive and how these companies are actually using that persuasion technology to link us in. I think this is an amazing book because one thing that is very common is when you have an addiction to pornography, you're also probably spending too much time on some of these social media platforms. And in my eyes, I don't see a difference between the way that the algorithms are built in sites like Pornhub and some of these other larger sites and the algorithms in Instagram and Facebook. They're all, crafty, engineered, artificial intelligence designed to keep you locked in, to keep you spending more time on the platform and on the sites. Guys, remember, if you're not paying for a service or software, you are the product. Meaning, you're getting pornography for free, that means you are the product. The porn company is using you, linking you in, keeping you on their site based upon the information in this book to then be able to turn around and sell you for more advertisement. So incredibly eye-opening book, Irresistible by Adam Alter. And like I said, guys, I'm gonna link all these books down in the description and also in the first pinned comment. The next book, guys, you may be familiar if you're in the world of personal development, high performance growth, but it's Jocko Willink's book, Extreme Ownership. Now, what does the book Extreme Ownership have to do with overcoming porn addiction? Well, what point is Jocko trying to get across here? Guys, whatever problem is occurring in your life, it's nobody else's problem. Porn is not the problem. Your childhood is not the problem. The way that your father treated you is not the problem. The way that the girl rejected you is not the problem. You are the problem. And until you can get that across in your mind and make that shift that you are the only one responsible for your life, you're going to struggle, not just in overcoming porn addiction, but you're going to struggle in all areas of your life. Guys, this is the one that where I talked about, 30 years, Jocko spent, 20 years in the Navy and then 10 years post-Navy building companies and consulting for large firms and organizations. Somebody that's working with some of the highest level performers in the world. What can we take away and pull from him to then feed into us to help us when we're really struggling with an issue like pornography? Extreme ownership, guys. Realizing that you are the one responsible for your actions, for your habits, for your routines. And if you can make that mental shift, if you can make that change in the way that you view yourself, overcoming the addiction is just a matter of time because it's literally just going to happen by nature because now you're taking ownership. And if you've identified that you are responsible and that porn doesn't have a place in your life, then it's simply just a matter of building the discipline. But it's got to start with a shift in your mental approach to who you are and what you're doing. In the fifth and final book, guys, another one that I think is a must read for every person, but more importantly right now with the issue of porn addiction is Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. Another psychologist, professor at Harvard, professor at the University of Toronto. This book is all about taking responsibility. Very similar to the lessons taught here by Jocko Willink, that you are responsible for your own life. But he goes much, much deeper and he breaks it down into a simplified approach. 12 rules. What are these rules? Clean your room up first. Be precise in your speech. Pet a cat when you see one on the street. That's one of my favorite ones, but you guys got to read the book to find out what he means there. But Jordan Peterson is one of the greatest thinkers in our culture today. One of the greatest thinkers of all time. Philosopher, teacher, educator, speaker, author. I mean, just an incredibly powerful human being, powerful man. Whether or not you're addicted to porn, this is a must read for you. But guys, that's it. 5 must read books: Surfing for God, Wired for Intimacy, Irresistible, Extreme Ownership, 12 Rules for Life. Grab them, pick them up, digest them, let them marinate. Think about the content information in the books. How is it applying to you? How can you take and extract and pull from these great thinkers, these great men? How can you extract and pull information from them to then help you in developing a plan to overcome porn addiction? But that's it, guys. Pick up the books. Grab the free ebook here as well, 7 Steps to Living Life Without Porn, where we give you some steps on building a life to remove pornography from your life and ultimately step into the man that you're created to be. Now, these aren't the only ones, so if you guys are interested in some other titles, comment below. Also, if you have some other books that I didn't mention here, share those as well, guys. I know there's thousands thousands of books related to this topic. So maybe there's something that I haven't read yet that you have and it's helped you in your journey. But I'd love to hear from you guys down there below. But that's it, guys. Frank Rich from Rebuilt Recovery giving you the 5 must-reads to help you overcome porn addiction. I'll see you guys on the other side.